Hello everyone! It is time for a one-take tutorial. If you have not watched a one-take tutorial before, it is exactly what the name implies. It is a makeup tutorial in one take, no edits whatsoever. And I take a theme and I create a makeup look around that theme. And so in the past one-take tutorials so far, we have had some more serious themes. But when I recently asked for some ideas from you guys, I couldn't resist the suggestion of holiday movies, because you know what I love more than anything during the holiday season, aside from like spending time with people that I love and all of that stuff? Holiday movies. And I'm not talking about like Home Alone and like those movies that are actually good movies. I'm talking about the ones that kind of lie on the spectrum of questionable from going from unwatchable to I can't believe I'm watching this, but I am here for this. So I am going to do a makeup look, and I make no promises about the outcome because I have no idea what I'm going to be doing, and I just kind of roll with it. And I'm also going to be talking about my picks for holiday movies, starting with the worst and going to the best. And just for clarity, these are all movies that I have only watched this year, so not including movies that I watched last year. My all-time favorite, I just feel like, will forever be The Spirit of Christmas, which Netflix took off of their inventory, and I am devastated about that because I can't watch it again. So just putting that out there, that is a classic in my heart. But I'm gonna get started. I have a timer going. I also have my list in front of me just so I don't miss anything. I am very passionate about holiday movies. This is something that you should know about me if you don't already know it. I feel like I have been pretty open about my love for these like bad but amazing holiday movies that come out every year. But I feel like this year people are definitely taking them more seriously. Like Netflix has definitely done a pretty hard push towards holiday movies and making their own holiday movies, which is pretty exciting. I feel like I've seen more this year than ever before, which is great because before it was like really dominated by Hallmark, but honestly I've kind of moved away from Hallmark because those are just kind of unwatchable, and the casts are just like, they're different people, but they all look the same. They're all just like white people, and I was just like, what's making me stay here? Because the acting isn't good, the sets aren't good, the stories aren't good. So when other better options present themselves, aka Netflix, I have definitely run screaming towards that option, like screaming with joy, because Netflix, I feel like, has really nailed the perfect balance of like cheesy storyline, but like still watchable, and also just getting people we love in the movies. So I will go into that when we get there. So I figured, why not start with the worst? I'm going to start at the bottom of the barrel here. So this is like just total trash. Like basically unwatchable for me. I didn't even finish this movie. That's how unwatchable it is for me. It is Santa Girl. I was very excited about this because the whole storyline is about like Santa's daughter. But I honestly could not even get through like the first 20 minutes of the movie because honestly what bothered me the most was the sound and the sets. So when you start watching this movie, it just became very abundantly clear to me, like, oh, this is clearly a set. It really feels like there's no magic here. The sound was like very tinny and echoey, so it made the, oh, they're on a set thing even more obvious, and it just was like taking the movie magic away from me, which just made me sad. But the real nail in the coffin for me was a literal nail on the wall in Santa's daughter's bedroom, in like the first scene where you see her bedroom. There is a hook on the wall with nothing on it, and very clearly that was a decision of, oh, there was something here. It was like they had something on the wall, and then they made a decision like, oh, maybe not, we're not going to do that, and then they took it off, but then they didn't remove the hook, and so the hook is still there, and that just really bothered me. I was like, I can't do this. I at least need some like background stuff that feels like cozy and nice, and at least not just like a blank wall with like a nail in it. It just felt rushed. It felt like their whole like setup was just a little rushed, and I was bummed because I was super into the idea of like learning about Santa's daughter. So that was a no-go for me. Couldn't even watch that one. So next on my list, Holiday in the Wild. I've talked about this one on Instagram. I do have thoughts about it. Now that I've watched more movies, it's definitely moved down on my list. One of the reasons is because the Christmas factor in the movie is just very low. Like the ratio of Christmas is like 50%. You don't get anything holiday related until about halfway through the movie, which is interesting. I know this was definitely one of the first releases this year for Netflix, so maybe they were trying to like ease into the holiday season. But it does have Kristin Davis in it, so obviously I am happy always about that. And Rob Lowe is also a character in it. It is about a woman who has her family in New York City. She is married, has a son, and then she and her husband end up getting a divorce, and she ends up going on this trip to Africa, where she is essentially trying to find herself, and goes to this elephant sanctuary, and just starts meeting people there, working with the elephants. You find out that she was a vet. Really, I was like confused, but also into that at the same time. But the thing about this movie is that Rob Lowe and Kristin Davis don't have any chemistry, like romantic chemistry. So it is truly shocking when you watch this and they kiss and you're like, whoa, this is not, it's like watching like your parents kiss, I think. I don't know what the equivalent is. Like, I think it just doesn't seem like what should be happening in that movie. Like, I'm fine with them being friends and working with elephants together and saving them and all that. Love that for them. But I don't love them kissing, because in my mind, I was like, okay, I feel like these two actors have known each other for a really long time, just like in the Hollywood world in general, and then they found themselves doing this movie together, and they were like, we're not going to win an Oscar for this, so we don't have to have like that much chemistry, so we're just going to like do it. And it just feels like you're watching two friends kiss who like don't have any deeper feelings for each other and are, yeah, it was truly shocking when they like end up having like a romantic connection, because I was like, really? I don't feel that at all. But Kristin Davis brings all her designer bags on the trip, and it is truly wonderful to just see her array of designer handbags that she brings on the trip, because she's like, you know, I may be going to find myself, but I'm going to find myself wearing a Chanel bag. Respect. Okay, next up, Christmas Survival. So this is actually like, I think, a good movie. It's British. It has Gemma Whelan in it. Love her. And it's all about just like family dynamics at the holidays. It was really funny, but there were definitely some like deeper topics that were lightly touched on slash brushed over, like alcoholism. And I was like, well, I don't know about how they're handling that. Questionable, but it's all about like this family who comes together in this house that's like old. It's a family house, the parents own it, they've died, the kids are inheriting it, they're spending Christmas there, and they're all staying in this house that's like kind of falling apart, and madness ensues. And like, I enjoyed it. It was like basically watching a dysfunctional family come together on the over the holidays and find more common ground with each other. So I thought that was a good storyline. There were definitely things where I was like, oh yeah, that's so real. That's such a real thing. And I loved the characters. I thought the acting was really good too. Like, they definitely just have some great actors in that. And I honestly don't know what I'm doing with my makeup. I just decided to do this and now I'm having regrets. Okay, so next up we have Last Christmas. So this was a movie that was in actual theaters. I think maybe it still is. I don't know. This was the one of the first movies that I watched this holiday season. I saw it with my friend Michelle. It has Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding, our king and queen. And it was great. Both Michelle and I admitted to choking up at the end, which I was not expecting at all, like not even remotely. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a cheesy, lighthearted movie. It was way more serious than I was expecting it to be, but still, like, there were light and fun moments in it. But basically, Emilia Clarke's character has been sick for a while, and now that she is healthy, she's kind of like figuring out what she wants to be doing with her life, and is just kind of like struggling to find what her purpose is, because she had been sick for so long, and just kind of got used to being sick and what that life was like. And now that she's healthy, it's like this huge adjustment for her. And she meets Henry Golding's character, and they have a connection, and they both learn from each other, and it is truly a heartwarming movie. And if you love Henry Golding and Emilia Clarke, then this is the movie for you. But beware the end. I didn't see what was going to happen until like right before they revealed everything, which I'm not going to talk about, but then it'll get ya. It'll get ya. So that was a good one. Next up we have Let It Snow. This is truly just amazing. It has the right amount of cheesiness in it, great acting, diverse cast, different storylines, coziness, real snow. It's fantastic. Like, I loved this movie. So it's based off of a book, and in the book there are 3 different stories, and so in the movie there are 3 different stories that you're following. Each one comes in a pair. So the first storyline is 2 friends. It's a guy and a girl, and they've been friends forever, like since they were little kids, and it's about like their relationship. He has a crush on her, so you kind of like follow them through like their journey together. And then there is a pair of best friends, and they kind of like are separately having their own like journeys, but then together have a friendship journey, and one of the girls in the friendship likes girls and is queer, and she goes through this journey with liking another girl who is Anna Akana, which is super exciting because I love Anna Akana. So it was so cool to see her in this movie, and I love that she chose this role. She was so perfect for it, and I would just like lit up every time Anna came on screen. It was just so cool to see her. And so that's like the second storyline, and then the third storyline is two strangers who meet each other. One of them is like a super famous singer. The other one is a girl who is just dealing with a lot of stuff at home and things within herself. Like her mom is sick and she's trying to figure out like what she wants to do post high school and like what her plan is going to be, but dealing with the weight of like guilt and obligation and just all of that. So I just thought that this was just so great. Like you get so many different stories and perspectives, but it was still light and fun, and it felt like the holidays, and I love how the stories all come together at the end, and it really was just this amazing mix of like important stories and great storytelling, but then you still got like the lightness and the fun and the cheesiness, and like their hangout joint is like this waffle place, which I loved, and some of the characters are just total dorks, and I loved that too. It was just such a heartwarming movie, and Erica and I watched it together, and we found ourselves just like laughing out loud at some of the moments because they were just like so pure and joyous. So Let It Snow, that was like a truly groundbreaking Christmas movie. I was like, this is good. This is what I like to see. I want to see more of this. Okay, so next, Night Before Christmas. This is where our true queen, Vanessa Hudgens, has blessed us with another Christmas movie this year. So she was in The Princess Switch last year, loved it, into it. It was amazing. She is back. And one of my favorite things in the entire world is when my favorite actresses do Christmas movies, and Vanessa Hudgens is now my absolute favorite because she's done not only one, but she has returned for a second time. And Night Before Christmas is a little bit of time traveling, a little bit of romance, a lot of bit of Christmas, and basically nothing super serious, but like two people getting to know each other. It kind of like reminded me in a way of Kate and Leopold, that movie with Hugh Jackman and Meg Ryan, which I love and have seen multiple times. Hold on, my screensaver just came on, so I need my list back. Okay. It reminded me of that movie. So if you like that movie and you want like the Christmas version of it with Vanessa Hudgens and like way more cheesiness, and Kate and Leopold is pretty cheesy, but like this is on another level, then Night Before Christmas is for you. And I think they're setting it up for a sequel, like the end of it. I felt like that was a total setup for part 2. So I'm excited and ready for that. Vanessa Hudgens can bless me with her presence in a Christmas movie every year for the rest of her life, and I will be happy. That will just make all my dreams come true. So those are my thoughts on Night Before Christmas. Just pure goodness. Pure goodness. And I am there for anything that Vanessa Hudgens does. Also, there are just some good, like, heartwarming moments in that movie too, which I appreciated. So the number one thing on my list, my number one choice so far, which I can't believe I'm saying because as I was watching this movie, I was like, LOL, this is ridiculous. Like, I was full on chuckling watching this movie. But that's why I'm choosing this movie, because it was just so ridiculous, but I couldn't stop watching it. I was just like, what has come over me? You know what came over me? The Christmas spirit. That's what came over me. So this one follows a Cinderella storyline, and there's like an evil stepmother and like two stepsisters, and the main character, she like dreams of being a singer, and they kind of like squash her dreams, and then she meets this guy who is like super rich, but then also like really kind and nice and creative, and they have this connection. He's also incredibly handsome. But the real kicker here is that it is part musical. There is singing, aka lip syncing, and the lip syncing doesn't always match up. And it was amazing. I loved watching that. It was just so good. I was like, wow, this is pure Christmas cheese. But then also they made it a musical, and it was delightful. I genuinely enjoyed it. And plus, I thought that like stepmom and stepsisters were just like hilarious characters. There's also a very cute dog in this movie too. So just saying. So I haven't been paying attention to my makeup really, but here we are. I actually really like the green. Ooh, I haven't been fully paying attention to it, so now I'm just seeing it. I'm also at the 21-minute mark according to my timer, so I want to get through the rest of the things that I have to talk about, which are the movies that I am going to watch. I am saving Christmas Prince, A Royal Baby. I know it's here. I am definitely watching it, but I'm saving it because this is going to be the highlight of my movie watching experience. So I want to be in a fully relaxed place to watch this movie because it's just going to make me so incredibly happy to be there. So that's what I'm saving. And then I also have Klaus on my list. That has been recommended to me, so I'm going to be watching that one. That one's an animated movie. And then Christmas with a View. That has also been recommended to me, and I think that's about a chef. And I think it might be a big city to small town storyline, but I'm not totally sure. I have just been told to watch that one, so it's on my list. And then the movie that I am currently in the middle of right now is Holly Star, and that is about a woman who is a puppeteer. That's a profession I haven't encountered yet in one of these Christmas movies, but she is a puppeteer, which I respect. I was like, I like this. I'm into this. And she gets fired from a job and like has to go home, and she's like reevaluating like what's going on, and so, and these memories are starting to come back to her, and that's kind of like at the point where I am now. So I think I finished my makeup. This is my holiday movie makeup, and I covered all of the movies that I want to talk about. These movies ultimately just bring me so much joy, even the ones that are unwatchable. I just love this space because I tend to watch things like during the rest of the year through such a critical lens, and the holiday season is the one time of year where I let myself just like relax and watch things that are super cheesy and just enjoy every second of it. And I feel like this year has been especially incredible because the movies have just gone to the next level, and I feel like they're really just at this great point right now where we're just getting things that we typically didn't get before. So I'm excited to see where they go. But I just find these movies just really heartwarming to watch, funny. Like, I laugh so much watching these movies, and I love talking about them with other people. They are just like the McDonald's of my entertainment life. So I just love it so much. What is it giving to me nourishment-wise? I don't know, questionable, but it brings me just a lot of like spiritual joy and emotional joy. So that's all for today. This wasn't a deep one take tutorial. Just wanted to talk about Christmas movies. Thank you for giving me this space. I'm pleased with this makeup look, just gonna say. All right, that is gonna be it for today. This is also my last video for 2019, so I will see you in the new year. I hope that you are able to rest and relax and spend time with the people that you love, because you know me, I'm gonna be soaking it up. Can't wait. See you guys soon. Bye.